He referred to the president as the big orange president. And our next guest, Marsha Blackburn, a congresswoman, he said the president could tell her to jump off the bridge, and I want her basically to jump off the bridge. Congresswoman Blackburn is here. She's running for the U.S. Senate. She joins me live to respond. Good evening, Congresswoman.
Good evening.
I hear that audio. The Congressman, Steve Cohen, claims he was joking. What was your reaction when you heard this?
It's hurtful to hear that. Steve is someone who was a colleague of mine in the state Senate, and then we've served in Congress together. I've worked with him on issues like infant mortality issues in Shelby County, and we serve in the same delegation. So when you hear something like that, it is hurtful, and of course we haven't received an apology. He did say he was joking, but I've got to tell you, Ed, there's an old adage that my grandmother used to say, and it was never injure a friend, even in jest, because some of the most hurtful things will be said in as a joke or something that is kidding. So I think also the fact that this was said in a church at a prayer breakfast, that's a little bit, adds to it also.
That makes it particularly more shocking. We reached out, by the way, I want to tell our viewers, to Democrat Steve Cohen. He did not respond, so he obviously is not appearing tonight, but I want to be fair to him. He told Huffington Post, quote, "It was obviously humor. I wish her no harm. I hope she doesn't get the Senate, as in the Senate seat, and I wish she wasn't a lackey for Trump, but I don't wish her physical harm." Is that good enough for you?
I think that is what you would say is kind of a backhanded type statement. But I have to tell you, I think that when you talk about the process of how our nation's leaders operate and the conduct that is displayed, one of the things that I do regularly is to pray for our leaders. I pray for my colleagues. I pray for those that are my opponents. I pray for our president and his staff. And I think that is an important part of what we're to do as Christians. We're commanded to pray for those that are in leadership.
So tell me, what is going on in American politics right now? What is going on in the Congress where you serve? When, we see, we saw these stories where Sarah Sanders couldn't basically eat at a restaurant. You had Maxine Waters, one of your Democratic colleagues, saying, make sure that you pressure the Trump cabinet. And we thought, well, maybe it's isolated. Maybe it's going to calm down. And now you've got one of your colleagues saying basically he wants you to jump off a bridge.
Yes, and Ed, one of the things that concerns me is so much of this seems to be driven, the vitriol that is there, but when you get into a committee like the subcommittee that I chair, Communications and Technology, we have worked very well together in a bipartisan basis. I have a reputation for working across the aisle in a bipartisan manner to get things done for the people of Tennessee, for the people of this country. And I say regularly, anyone who's willing to work for the good of Tennesseans, I am willing to sit down and have a conversation with them and say, how do we get this done for the good of our state, for the good of our citizens?
Congresswoman, pardon me, I've got 30 seconds. If you get a chance to sit down with Steve Cohen, the Democrat, what are you going to tell him?
I would hope that he would apologize, and I hope that he would seek to realize that this is beneath him. These type comments are beneath him. They're not necessary.
Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn, we appreciate you coming in tonight.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
All right.